While taking a shower, the woman was suddenly tied up by two strangers. The kidnappers then took her onto a boat and threw her into a remote stretch of the ocean. Although she struggled desperately in the water, her feet were shackled with heavy chains, and in an instant, she sank to the bottom of the sea. She thought she was about to die there. But for some reason, the woman suddenly realized she could actually breathe underwater. Back at the women's prison one day earlier, Cal had been sentenced to 10 years in prison for arson. Today was the day she was due to be released. Just as she was about to walk out of prison, two thugs approached her. It turned out they were trying to rob Cal of the money left in her store account, but Cal paid them no mind. He simply stood there in silence, squeezing hand soap into her hands. After dealing with those reckless thugs, she collected her belongings and walked out of the prison that had held her captive for 10 years. Standing in front of her own front door, Cal felt momentarily dazed. 10 years had passed in the blink of an eye, yet she still clearly remembered the day she was arrested. She then cautiously pushed open the door, but the house was empty. A family photo still hung on the wall. She then went back to her room and pulled a box out of the closet. Inside were news clippings about her father's disappearance 10 years ago. It seemed she and her father had been very close. Once they got a good look at each other, they both relaxed instantly. It turned out the other person was Cal's older brother. 10 years had passed, and the siblings had both grown into adults. Cal took out the will her father had left behind, and revealed that half of the family's boat and house had been left to her by her father. She intended to claim her rightful share. Her brother, August, said he had to leave on urgent business, and suggested they discuss the will when he returned that evening. Cal then went to the law firm. She wanted to know how much of her father's estate she had inherited. The lawyer explained that her father had left a total of $380,000, and that her share was being held by her mother. Cal was shocked to hear this, because if her alcoholic mother were in charge of that money, she would surely have squandered it all by now. But the lawyer explained that things weren't quite as she imagined. Her mother had actually opened a bar, determined to claim the money that rightfully belonged to her. Cal went to her mother's bar, but, as expected, things didn't go smoothly. Her mother refused to give Cal even a single penny. The atmosphere between mother and daughter was tense from the moment they met. Their first conversation in 10 years ended just like that.
Mum.
Can I come in?
What's up?
Have you seen your sister? Of course you have. I knew she'd visit you first.
Well, if you know, why ask?
She's after your money, Augie, and mine.
Dad's money. And she's just back to get what's hers.
We'll see.
The next day, Cal was kidnapped and thrown into the ocean. When she realized she could breathe underwater, Cal quickly broke free from the restraints on her feet and surfaced. When she returned home, Cal immediately told her brother about her kidnapping. August was curious about how she'd escaped from the water. She said she wasn't sure herself. In any case, something strange had happened. August was concerned that Cal was emotionally distraught, and told her none of that mattered. What mattered was that Cal was safe now. To ensure his sister's safety, August left her a gun before heading out, and said he'd have his subordinate, Jim, come over to protect her shortly. He then set out to find the killer.